All right, so we're just here today to discuss youth unemployment. Okay, so this is a topic that's been discussed a lot of times, and we have a couple of questions here that we want the youth to just kind of weigh in on. All right, so we've got all the way there in red, we've got Sage with his head backwards, and then we've got Miss Ellen here and Mr. John Dion. We're just going to call him JD for now. And then my name is Jessica. So we have a couple of questions here that that I think has been asked over and over again, and we've been focusing and we've been saying that perhaps these are not the questions that we need to be asking, because youth unemployment is there's a deeper issue here, right? So I'm going to go through the questions just so that you guys know what questions we have. And if you guys agree with us on whether these topics should be discussed, please feel free to comment. Not sure, Joy, are we commenting there at the bottom? Or just express your opinions as well, so that we know that for the next topic, we will take that on for our next podcast, and then we can elaborate further. So some of the questions here, I think Alan can maybe just read one or two of those questions so that we just know what the conversation is about.
Okay. Let me start with the first one. What are some of the biggest challenges faced by unemployed youth in our community? How can education and vocational training programs be improved to better prepare young adults for the job market? In your opinion, what roles can business and industry play in reducing youth unemployment? I'll go with my favorite. What are some initiative ways young people can create their own employment opportunities?
Okay. So some initiative ways, some initiatives that young people can embark on to create their own employment.
Here's the thing, if we're talking like own employment, guys, you have to think like, okay, young people in general, all of us went through the whole phase of like high school and what, and you'd go study and all of that and do something that, like, let's say after that you really don't have a game plan.
Yeah.
You really don't know how to maneuver. You don't know if I have to start a business with this, what steps do I take? Then we're not really equipped with those basic skills. Just like, teach people like basic things like budgeting and stuff like that, because you find a lot of people don't even know how to do that stuff. So it's like, when I think that way, it's also like a question of like, also, this is where I feel like the whole like school thing comes in, because it's like those are things that we're supposed to like. It's just
to
supposed
prepare
to be
you.
there. It's just
those accounting methods, cash books, and what.
So it's like in terms of like you'd study something, and most people just think like, okay, now study, get a job, and that's the mistake some of us make, because it's like you're going to study engineering and stuff like that, and it's like, okay, what now if I don't get a job? What now? Do I know how to start my own thing? Type thing?
I think primarily, and I think that is the biggest problem, because we have so many youth now that have degrees and diplomas and they can't get in employment. Okay, we're dwelling a little off the question, but I just wanted to say that I think there's something wrong with the system there, because now you have your degree, but now you lack the 5 years experience that they need for you to get that job.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So how do we work now? Because I know for myself, I, after school, didn't start studying. I decided, okay, I want to go into advertising, because I've always been one for marketing and so forth. So I started with receptioning and then doing activation, scoring, build up that experience. And then I think by my late 20s, 29, 30, then I started studying within the field that I wanted. Do you understand? So it was easy for me then to just get a promotion thereafter.
Yeah.
Because now you study to be a doctor, you have your degree. Who are you going to go operate on if you don't have experience? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just things like that.
But also, that whole experience card is also a double-edged sword, because it's like, how am I gonna get the experience if y'all don't want to employ me? So it's like, where am I going to get that 5 years experience? I have to start somewhere.
You have to start somewhere. So you must go start and make coffee first. But I mean, you can start there.
Yeah.
Within the industry that you want to work in,
Yeah.
right? And learn from there. But the problem with us youth is we don't want to most learn. If we have a doctor's degree, we want to become the doctor
Yeah.
now. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I think with regards to how youth can create employment for themselves, I think youth is already doing that, right? You find Ellen here, Ellen is a photographer, right? You find graphics designers, right? And you find and I hate the term that people use, I'm selling. These are entrepreneurs, the women that are selling.
Yeah.
Do you get me? They are creating, but they don't have the audience. Namibia, where are we now? 2.3?
Yeah, we touched three.
We are
I think
three
we touched
already.
three,
We are
yeah.
growing.
Yeah, so we are growing. But there's also things of distrust, and also youth, I don't think they perfect their skill in their business. Do you get me? And they also have the scams and the con artists. You know, when you
everyone's
buy
busy.
yes, when you buy hair, because there's more to a business than just selling.
Yeah.
Do you understand? There's integrity in a business. There is to officiate your business, just by the way, to market at the right places. And unfortunately for all of this, you need what? School.
Yes.
You need school. But I think really the youth of Namibia, I think we're getting there. We have youth that have
That are working.
businesses.
Yeah.
Even if they're just a tenderpreneur, it's a business, y'all.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, first I want to touch on Sage's point and then Jessica's point, and I'll say my point. Hope that's okay. Like you said something about people creating courses on budgeting and stuff like that. Man. I have a problem. It's getting a bit personal, but I have a problem. The thing is that the things are there. There are people that are, let's say every Saturday they're here where we are, giving free classes on budgeting. But then the thing that I always tell people is that you are focusing, your location plays a very important role, because if you, for example, take the same opportunity or the same thing that you're giving, you go to Katutura and you're like, okay, there is that church there, and then if we move the chairs like this and put the table, we put big posters, we tell the people here at the service station, at the bar, at the what, we're having budgeting courses at the church. I think that way people will learn, because now they're like, I want to come to Sage budgeting course in town, but 26, I only have a 13, how will I come back home? And the person just said home. And then with your point of whereby the experience wise, like in my field, in the entertainment field or skilled business, I'm not sure about the others, there are a lot of opportunities for you to get your experience, but you have to get out of the house. And most of it, maybe for the first 2 years, just be a donkey. It's fine. Just go get the coffee. When you get the coffee, you're going to slow down. In slow down, you're going to meet your bosses, and then they will remember, tell your boss what about it. That way, you're networking. And as you're saying, that way, imagine you're doing that for 3 years, and then you study media. On top of that, Jessica is now a big manager in the media department, because you have both of your stuff. But then one thing about us youth is that we're not willing to put in the extra
To work, yeah.
The opportunities are there, but then we're like, can you guys not send transport? Or if I come there with my own transport, will you reimburse me?
always want
I'm
things
like,
for free,
why
ne?
do you want to get something back? Is the education, the lesson I'm teaching you not enough or something?
Yeah.
But then for me on this, I'm a fashion designer. I'm a jeweler. I'm a graphic designer. Yeah. Photographer.
You're a creative all in all.
Yeah, filmmaker, makeup artist. I can do it all, because I don't like staying at home and just like, I get bored very fast.
Yeah.
So, and I like expensive things.
Get
So
the
that
best in the
together
house, man.
makes me
But
work hard.
I think, as you're saying now that you have quite a portfolio, I think also one of the biggest mistakes that youth make is taking on too much. Nah? You know, when you you get this business card, right? So I'm in the business where I source out a lot of services, right? And I try and give the youth opportunities, right? But then you get a business card or you get a profile. I'm telling you, this person is from an IT to a plumber, from a plumber to a, he's just doing everything all the time, right? And the problem is that we are sourcing out because we just have that card because now Sage can do plumbing. So I'm going to put plumbing on my profile. I can't do plumbing, but Sage can do plumbing. So I'm going to get Sage to do the plumbing, and then I'm going to add my markup to that. And it's laziness, pure laziness. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's pure laziness. You have to choose a craft, dedicate your time, resources, funding into that craft, right? And then you have to network on top of that. You can't just decide, I'm a photographer, so I'm just going to, pick up the camera and go coop coop and that's it. No, there's a lot of things, a lot of aspects when it comes to photography.
Yeah.
And you need to have that passion. I think we've mentioned that earlier, that you need to have a passion and you need to grow your business. You can't work hand to mouth, do a little poster here as a graphics designer and then do a little profile here and then you want to now start a business. No, it doesn't work like that.
No testimonials,
I
no
think I have something
feedbacks.
to say about this. The thing is, you should actually try so many things, try different things in order to find what you're good at. Because for me, as I'm seated here, I was a social media comedian, and then I went into filming, then I did music. Now I am an athlete. I'm a professional athlete, and I am an artist developer. And there's more things that I can do. Actually, I do not focus only on one thing. The thing is, people think you just need to be doing one thing, but the thing is actually try different things in order for you to find what you are good at. Because most people just say, I don't have a talent, I don't have a talent. Okay, so if you have 5 friends and you see that they're all doing this and this and this and that, try maybe doing everything that they do and see yourself maybe where you are. Maybe you can even still become better than them. So try different things in order for you to find your talent and your skills.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I've always been doing this and I'm always moving. It's like, as somebody said to me, apparently I'm a what? What's the word? I am apparently a jack of all trades but master of none. And it's true. I change every time. Oh, and I also remember I was once a boxer as well. So I've been changing so much. And it doesn't mean that because I'm an athlete now, I'm just going to be focusing on one thing. I am. The thing is, just also try to make time and work out on all those. It's not really difficult to make time and be an athlete, be a boxer, be a script writer. I'm also a script writer. Be a script writer, make movies and everything. These are all easy stuff. Because most of the times you spend time just sitting at home and watching TV. Now use those 2 hours that you are using to watch TV. Instead of watching TV,
something
go and
productive.
write your movie. What is the movie that nobody saw because you didn't make it yet? I think Quentin Tarantino said something like that. So make that movie that nobody has watched yet because you didn't make it. So do different things in order to find yourself.
I agree with you, bro, because like entirely you have to find what you like per se. So it's like, and like from like, let's say from like 18 and like your whole 20s, you can literally experiment. Those like your 20s are experimental.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. You need
like,
to have the youth on your
lay
side.
that foundation, and then in your 30s, you're like, okay, nah, sharp. I'm not really
I
good
found
at this.
it,
I'm
yeah.
not good at this, but this away. Let me build on this.
Yeah.
So it's like, even I tried out a lot of
A lot
stuff.
of things.
I did acting, producing, music, like rapping. I'm a graphic designer, photographer, all of that. So it's like, all of that is just like stuff that I found myself, and I'm like, oh, away seems like okay, graphic design, away cool. This is dope. I actually like creating something from scratch rather than like having to like, let's say, pay somebody, because like I'm also like I said, I'm a rapper, so it's like the one thing I used to deal with is like, yo, make a cover art for me, bruh. And then that guy takes forever, bro. And you're just like, yes, yes. So now it's like I'm in a position where I'm like, yeah, I can do it myself.
Yeah.
If I have to do it, I can do it myself. So it's like, you know, you find something, and then also there's this thing of like finding different streams of also income.
Yeah,
Because like you
definitely.
never know, like you do one thing, it flourishes. You try another thing, it flourishes.
Yeah.
And like in a few years, those are like streams of income that are just coming. So like at some point you'll just chill, because it's like I have 3 shops bringing money in. I have a stable job. I probably have like real estate houses that I'm
Yeah,
dealing
no,
with.
that's true.
So it's
That's
like
true.
different streams.
So I guess we're basically concluding what are some of the innovative ways young people can create their own employment opportunities. It's just basically to find something and work on that.
Work on it.
Right? Find something, work on that, know the market and industry that you're starting that something in, right? Instead of going in blind and wasting resources.
Before we actually close the top, just on what you exactly said right now, like for me personally, I've been at the College of Arts for almost 6 years now. This will be my second diploma. Like everything that I am passionate about, I choose to study that. Like even with my parents, and I have typical bamboo parents where they're like, "Aye, where? I'm only going to pay for your school if you're doing one." But
Yeah.
then my parents, I think my parents were exposed to a very broad community that they're like, "Oh, you do art. Yes, now you're going to be with that crazy uncle of yours, but he does music." They're just saying it like in a
Yeah.
idiom type of way. But actually what I want to say is that when you choose to study what you're passionate about, like at College of the Arts, they actually introduce you to that industry. Like when my first diploma was in fashion. So like my assignment at the end of the year was fashion show. So the whole year you're working towards a fashion show. So now when you leave school, I think this is also has to do with vocational training. Yeah, I think we're on.
No, it's go. You can
what
go.
is this?
We're just trying to conclude this one so we
Yeah,
can move
no, what I'm saying, this topic that I'm saying now, it goes in
the government.
Where's the government initiative of vocational? Because what College of the Art does is that they teach you how to be an entrepreneur, because you have entrepreneurship. That is, I even got exempted last year. I asked them, I was making fun of them every day. Oh, yes, I have entrepreneurship. I did that already. So the thing about studying what you're passionate about, first of all, they introduce you to your market from the ground up. That's if you're now 100% like, okay, I want to be a fashion designer now.
Yeah.
First of all, I did internship. That was the first thing I did at a fashion show was internship. The last thing I did at a fashion show was showcase. I was on stage, I walked, I did this. I was so happy. But then, so College of the Arts, first of all, they introduce you to the industry. And then they teach you the ways of the industry. And what I mean about the ways of the industry, they start with the history of, like, we were taught of who made the first letter, like, we even know what font is, for example, because we are graphic designers, but that's what we want to study. And then the other initiatives is like you have corporates like, what is the diamond company?
NDTC, Namibia.
NDTC,
Oh, I love them. My God, they make me happy every
Yeah,
time
because
they send me a...
yes, they invest, and I think that kind of plays into how the corporate industry can contribute to youth employment, or just to help. But then someone told me earlier that they went to, I'm not going to mention the name of the institution, and the person was unapproachable, you know? So if you're going to close your doors to youth, how do you expect to? Do you understand? So I know that there are people like TK, Twapewa Kaudikwa, who has a vocational school, and NDTC, they always have these workshops and programs, and they are in support of youth.
I was part of the, what is this? I did the media stuff for last year's, is it Olafika?
Olafika, yeah.
So I think they do it yearly. And that was basically what they were doing.
Yeah.
So we're just teaching people how to do like business management and stuff.
So
like that.
basically, I think as a youth, if you really want to start your business, right, or do something for yourself, there are opportunities out there. So
you
you
have to
can't
go
be
look
like
for them.
this. You have to go to places, find people. Do you understand? So that there's opportunity one. There's platforms, right? You've got social media, radio, media, print. I'm telling you, they've got SME packages. It doesn't mean because it's radio that you're going to be charged $10,000 to do an advert. You're creatives. You do your own advert. They've got airplay for like 1,500 for the month. Do you understand? So there are these platforms, opportunities, and stuff that we can use. But if you don't open your mind to them, and you don't read and you don't research, then you'll just never know.
And on this same topic that we are talking about, we have, for an example, I'm going to use myself. So Sage is having this budgeting course. For example, let's say Jessica, you're my mom. You know? I'm my mommy's girl, you know, mommy buy me wine, mommy buy me this. Now I'm like, okay, now mommy, I need money. But the money that I'm asking from you is not to support or to evolve myself. It's money that I'm using to buy shoes.
Yes.
While I can use that same money to just go to the course, then I learn how to budget. Then I'm like, okay, the next time mommy gives me like a 500, so I'm going to take 200, I'm going to buy what, then this is what I'm going to resell. I'm going to resell that. And then the rest is what I use, because that's what I actually used to do at first with my pocket money. Like this was grade 8. You know, me and money, we are friends. We are good friends, that I can say, because I had it I dealt with it at a young age, and I was taught from a young age that you must never play with money. Because once you play with money and you learn that habit, every time you even work, for example, you can work hard, like on the topic we're talking first, you can work hard, you get 10,000 a month. You stay with your parents, what do you use this 10,000 a month? Next month, it's in your bank, it's
Handbags and wigs.
What are you doing? Now you want to study. They're like, okay, no, mom, I want to study, but can you please get a loan out? Then your mom will look at you like, Sisi, you've been working for 4 years. You earn 10,000 a month. You're supposed to have money. You stay here. I feed you. You bought a car. Okay, I understand. You must still have something left. And I'm like, no, you must discipline. It's the small skills that I think us the youth are lacking, or that we are not really.
Or the sacrifices. You're not making those sacrifices
well.
to. So is it safe to say that maybe, just in conclusion, maybe the youth, there is an unemployment problem. We all know that, right? But is the youth partially to blame for the unemployment? Are we employable? Are we too emotional? You had a thing, Ellen, where you said the 3 E's. Please look at the camera and talk about those 3 E's. And then before you say that, I just want to say to every youth that's listening right now, take the time, right? And just look at yourself, self-introspect, and just ask yourself, do I suffer from any one of these 3 E's? Because if you do, you're the reason why you're unemployed. I'm just saying that.
As I was saying, the 3 E's. Guys, if you meet me in public and I said the 3 E's maybe hurt your feeling, or I said it in the wrong way, I'm very sorry. But the 3 E's are ego, entitlement, and emotional. We, the youth, are suffering from these things. Sometimes, with emotional, sometimes we can be too sensitive with what people say. Okay, I do know that words can really, really hurt, especially if they come from somebody that means a lot to you. But then if you have a manager that is shouting at you from, let's say, this is a very wrong example, but I'm just going to use it, from 9 to 5. Then you must already tell yourself before you leave the house, okay, I'm going to deal with Dracula, so I must now put on the headsets. When I go in that office, I must work. Dracula, please leave me alone.
Emotional intelligence.
And then you go home, and then now you have to go home and shake it off. And I mean, like, go for a run, vent it out. Because sometimes when you build in all of that emotion, that's when we are like, you know what, I cannot do with Dracula anymore. And then you quit. Then you sit at home for 3 months and you're like, I was supposed to control myself. But those are the 3 E's. So it's ego, entitlement, and emotional.
Ego as in you don't want to be told what to do. You just want to do things the way you want to do them, and that is, it's your way or the highway, which a lot of youth, I think, go through that. And entitlement is also one.
The one is just, I feel like that one is chopping us. Slowly but surely, just becoming shorter. And that's where you lose your integrity with all of that. Because if you don't really, really look at yourself and study yourself properly, you start to see that, maybe if I just do this small bad thing, it won't hurt. But then you are building a habit. And then tomorrow you're like, okay, I'm going to go to the club. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to get that. And then you're like, you get addicted to that. Now you're 35. You're still staying with mom.
Now you're looking back.
Now you're like, oh, but there's this, my neighbor has been looking at me like this. Maybe he wants to marry or something. And then your life just...
So in conclusion, let's look at the 3 E's, guys. I think the role of business and industries. What do you think as a youth? What can they do to assist? I'm not going to
Well,
say to curb unemployment because they can't employ everyone, right? But what can they do? Like, for example, we mentioned Ms. Ropewa Kaudikwa and the vocational training institution that she has. But what can the corporate industry do to assist youth?
I think they should first target and look at the people that are having talents, people that can already create stuff, like creatives. Rather than them maybe looking for somebody else that they need to teach things from the ground, from the foundation. Just find these people that have talents in this and this. So find those creatives and focus on them and check, because they are also unemployed, but then probably they do not have equipment. Let me say this person knows how to make movies and what and what and what, but then they do not have the equipment to be making movies. So how do the corporates involve themselves into helping the nation to reduce unemployment? They should sponsor them, or buy for them, or rent to them, or just give it for, or borrow them equipment in order for them to be able to make their movies.
Are the
or
youth trustworthy enough to, for example, get, say for example, I'm a corporate, and you come to me and you're in filming, and you're telling me, okay, no, this, I'm working on this project. Do you understand? And I say, okay, cool. I'm going to dedicate as a corporate social responsibility. I'm going to give you 500,000, right? You only asked for maybe 50,000, but I saw potential and I said, okay, no, wait, I'm going to give you 500,000. Now you, youth, you're coming from a background where your things are tough, and here, boom, you've got 500,000. Can I trust you to do what you said you're going to do?
you have to give me guidance. Give me, like, if you give me 500, tell me, okay, so I see potential in you, and I want you, and I'm giving you more, because I'm giving you more than what you have asked for. So I'm giving you this, and I trust that you use this money wisely. But then, even though as they're saying like that, they give you somebody that can check if you are really using
Or
that money
do
wisely.
you not think it's better that maybe they say, okay, if you want to do filming, and the filming industry in South Africa, for example, just hypothetically, let's send you to South Africa for a course for a year. Those are the grounds of us sponsoring you, right? Go and get your education or training or whatnot in South Africa. Come back. Give us a proper business plan. You know, give more responsibility to get those funds, not just give the funds like that.
Yes,
Yeah, 'cause-
I think that's the best. But don't really give them money. Don't give them money. Because if I'm telling you that I need
You see,
camera,
don't give them money.
No, one thing that I love about what he's saying is that he's being honest.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that as the youth, we are not, I don't think we are ready to hear this yet, but we are lying to ourselves. We are being the Lulu. Like, and we are really sticking in that. We need to stop telling ourselves that, let me just sit at home and wait for that. I must go
Comfort
get
zone.
When I get the mealy.
No,
It's
but
not gonna
guys,
come walking
at
to
the
you.
end
It's not
of the
gonna come
day,
walking to you, bro.
we can keep asking what the government should do, what the corporate industry should do. I think there's a lot of platforms created by government and corporate.
I'm sorry, but I have to because
Yes,
I'm one of the people that
there's a
benefit from-
lot of platforms that are created by government and corporates. You just need to get yourself right so you can start tapping into that.
I think for me what I can add on that is I think the government is doing a very, 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 very bad job, because they do not know how to promote or market whatever, because they're saying, because just as you say, you benefit from that. I don't know that. I'm a creator,
Yeah.
but I do not know how you are benefiting and what you are benefiting from, because you are probably at a school. Okay, so since you're in a school, they introduce to you this and this, these are the people you need to meet, these are the people and what, and they also bring the sponsorship or the government, those people that are in
The
charge
opportunities
of
to
what you are
some-
doing,
to
in
some
order to
youth
teach you.
people.
Now for me, I am at home, I'm a creative, I'm asking people where can I go, but then the contacts that I have, They do not know the people that you know.
Yeah.
So what do? I just sit at home and wait and maybe looking for hope and check on Instagram, but then I do not end up finding it. So the government
That is actually,
not
that's a
doing
very good,
great
that's a
Marketing.
very good
They
they fail
point.
at the marketing because
Terrible.
how come it didn't get to me? And how come
Yeah.
if it didn't get to me, at least it must get to my
To your
50
teacher.
50 contacts or something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay, let me answer your question. When I said I'm one of the people that benefit from this initiative of these things, is what I mean is that when I'm on Instagram, I'm stalking DTSD, I'm stalking what. I'm actually on social media doing my research on what I want to know. Okay, like last year, what is the company name? MultiChoice. Talent Factory, they gave out, I don't know how many millions, but they gave out money to do films. These are the films that we had last year. If you
I think
remember
they do
last
it
year,
almost every
yeah, they
year.
do it every year. Last year they made 13 movies. I was an intern on one of their movies. It was my first film. It was a good opportunity. What I'm trying to say is that, hey, as you are home, if you have a cell phone, you are shooting media. NTA has openings, you know. What I want you to do is you must place yourself in that situation to receive the opportunity. You are at home, I am there, and I am working hard to make sure that I am there. At every opening, I must go there with my camera. Just look what I have. I did not leave this. You must create the opportunity for yourself because it's not going to come to you. Passion is not going to work anymore. I'm very sorry to say that. Passion is slowly dying out. We are all passionate. You need to be obsessed with what you're doing. Like the stuff that I mentioned to you, all those stuff, those are things that I actually do on a daily. Like when I have insomnia, I can't sleep. I'm not on my phone for 3 hours. I'm in front of my sewing machine trying to do this design. Like the necklaces I'm wearing, I made them.
Yeah.
I try to use my negatives for my positives. But passion is dying. You need to be obsessed with what you're doing. It's the only way you're going to make it.
It's the only way you're going to make it. And I mean, if we look at people, I'm sure people are sitting there saying that, you know, those opportunities are not there for everyone. And it's true, you know. Like, for example, in the villages, like where I went to Simboni Phase, it's Sambiurundu. Those people, they don't have cell phones and stuff like that. Do you get what I'm saying? But for those people, I don't think if government efforts should be placed somewhere, let it be placed there. Because people in the central areas, you are already equipped. You just need to get up. You just need to get up. Let the government efforts go to the villages and go create awareness in the villages. Do you understand? To people that really don't have the platforms or the resources. And stop wasting money here, because here we are lazy. Here we use our data for Rihanna and makeup. Okay, no, makeup tutorials, they bring money, guys. I'm just but yeah, so that's just I think in conclusion, that's what we want to say. We just want to say that if you are in central spaces, guys, there are platforms, there are opportunities. Let's not wait on the government. Let the corporate and government focus there where it's really necessary.
Or when the corporate and government find you have experience. As you're saying, we're in central. I mean, like if you come, let's say you come out to go to Zoo Park and you are very tall. Like this are not for my models, you know. Tip. I'm trying to hint you here. For my models out there, you decide like, okay, there's a photographer on Instagram. Maybe they are, you know, in Zoo Park. Sometimes go to Zoo Park, you put on your nice outfit. Like they have what they call a Z card.
Yeah.
And you don't have a proper picture. So you go to Zoo Park and you're like, okay, sir, check, you see that wall now, it's plain. Can you please just take a picture of my head? And then you're like, then you go on Instagram and you're like, okay, there is Figure Namibia, there is, I think it's called Pen something. I'm telling you, these people are flooding social media with, we are looking for models, we are looking for what, have your things.
But also watch your profiles. Watch what you post. Watch where you post. Because as a job, vacancy, I think we need a huger platform for this, but we need to definitely wrap up here. But I think we can change that to, or move that to the next time when we meet. But definitely, I think social media plays a big role. I think we should tackle that the next time. Thank you very much, guys, for listening to us, and create those platforms for discussions, even in your schools, so that you know and people can learn from each other like we learn from each other here. So I guess we'll see you next time.